Our next guest is Solomon Yue, who is CEO of Republicans Overseas. Welcome back to Inside Track, Solomon.
Thank you, Bruce. And for your audience, actually, I am working for Bruce, who is chairman of Republicans Overseas.
Well, I'm the junior.
I did not know that.
I'm the junior partner in this deal. Solomon is doing all the work. Look, Republicans and Democrats living abroad, Solomon, have been treated unfairly. How are they being taxed and working abroad? For so many years you've been working on this.
10 years.
Let me read from a news piece about 2 weeks ago. Trump proposes key tax break for U.S. citizens living abroad, pledges to end double taxation. Trump's proposal could simplify tax obligations for U.S. citizens abroad, addressing the complexities they currently face. Talk about the problems with the tax code affecting millions of Americans who are living abroad and the kind of changes that this proposal would make.
This is so big. As a matter of fact, you and I started 10 years ago.
Yep.
You and I passed RNC resolution to move this country to residency-based taxation to end double taxation. We sue IRS and live to speak and talk about this right now. And we hold a House hearing. We also pass, introduce bills to repeal FACA. Senator Rand Paul is one of the senators sponsored bill in the Senate, and former Congressman, actually Mark Meadows, also sponsored a bill for us to repeal FACA. And also we introduced standalone ending double taxation bill, and John McCain killed it for us.
That's right.
And with all that, we were part of 2017 Trump reform package. And you and I actually met then chairman of House Ways Means Committee, Kevin Brady. And because we couldn't get a score, we've been left behind. Now, you and I also managed to put ending double taxation plank in our national platform. Guess what? Trump took it out this year. Remember, he tried to shrink the platform from 87 pages long to 16 pages long and 20 points. And I realized, oh my God, he took the platform out, then what? And at the same time, I realized my condemning Biden and Harris open border policy and calling for massive deportation RNC resolution got into Trump's 20-point promises. That's the RNC 2024 national platform. Point 1, seal the border. Point 2, conducting the mass deportation. So I knew policy-wise I was good, right? And I still got it, right? And now I need an opportunity to present the plan in front of Trump again. Fast forward to the first week in Milwaukee. That is the RNC meeting week. And David Bossie and I and Kerry McCrystal sit down and hatched a Republicans Overseas October surprise attack, involved in many, many parts, including funding and including get President Trump to talk about ending double taxation. Now, for one thing, I realized I do have a second chance. The reason was Trump was talking about no tax on tips and no tax on Social Security income.
Right.
Guess what? There are similarities. Think about this, okay? Overseas Americans, they don't want to report and pay non-U.S. sourced income tax. And waiters, waitresses in U.S., they don't want to report and pay tax on their tips. That's number one. Number two, senior citizens see tax on their Social Security check is a double taxation. And so
right
do
about that.
Overseas Americans. So one of my argument was when we talking about America first, we must treat American citizens first, regardless where they're living and where they're working, right? Totally regardless of. And with that in mind, I also made another argument, philosophical argument based on constitutionality, which is equal treatment for all our citizens. If Trump is going to give tax break to waiters and waitresses and senior citizens, and he should do the same for overseas Americans.
Solomon.
It worked.
Yeah, Ed Wilkinson here.
Hi.
Hi. Grover Norquist with Americans for Tax Reform has been an ally trying to end this tax problem for years.
That's right.
He has said publicly how Trump tax policy will make America more competitive. He is one of America's leaders for tax reform. He's very interested in seeing this change, isn't he?
Yes, and he was helping us 2017. As a matter of fact, Bruce and I went to his office and see him, talk to him, and ask for his assistance as well. And he talked to Kevin Brady, the chairman of Ways Means Committee, directly. And Bruce and I met with the chairman as well, so we knew we were almost there. I could have kicked myself. I didn't talk to the president 2017, okay? And I thought, all the bases got covered. And that was not the case. You really need to talk to the big guy and make sure he is totally committed. And the reason is very simple. When he promised something during his first term, he delivered on his promises because he understands the founding principle, consent of government. It means when you promise voters something and voters elect you, you better deliver your promises.
Hey, Solomon,
Yeah.
even Democrats living overseas are interested in this tax development, aren't they?
Oh, you kidding me? We got the best news came out yesterday, day before yesterday. What happened was White House first time scheduled a Zoom call for Americans abroad stakeholders. Okay? Now, you thought if you're going to use the prestige of the White House to do this kind of call and try to counter Trump's ending double taxation for Americans abroad, you would think they offer something real, right? Well, they offer two parts to it. One, 52 Democrat lawmakers asked IRS to allow overseas Americans to do e-filing. What we do? I mean, that's how you're going to compete with Trump's ending double taxation. When Trump ends double taxation, those Americans don't have to file shit, right? Sorry for the French. And the other thing is, they try to do this call for Kami Mal, okay? And for the copycat Mal, guess what? The word salad chef was not even on the call.
Right.
I mean, how disrespectful that was, right? It was a total nothing burger for overseas Americans.
Unbelievable.
Now, politics is a warfare. In warfare, when our enemy is responding to our initiative, okay, offense, at least you got to do something effective, right? And make sense. They botched the first ever White House Zoom call for overseas Americans.
So this tax change, as proposed by the president, could come perhaps in the renewal of the 2017 Trump tax package as early as this spring. Do you think that's possible?
That's correct.
Because that makes sense that it all happened at the same time.
Yeah, that's my goal, and that's what I call babysitting, sausage making process. You and I did that 2017.
You bet.
And I would invite you to join me again because senior association lobbyists will, sit on the sausage making process for no Social Security tax, right? Social Security income tax part. And so our portion of this bill and will involve ending double taxation on non-U.S. sourced income. Now, I explained before, and you and I knew what that means. If you are a English teacher working in France, you only pay French government tax. You don't have to pay a U.S. government tax on non-U.S. sourced income, period. Now, if she moves out, right, and before she moved to France, she owned a home. Then she turned that home into a rental home. She has a rental income. That's U.S. source income. Then she should pay, pay tax on her rental income, right?
That's right.
As simple as that. And that will provide kind of relief they have been seeking. I'm talking about overseas Americans. We're talking about 9 million people out there.
So we've got these millions of people working overseas. You said what, 9 million?
9 million on State Department book. 9 million of them,
Wow.
Probably 4.4 million are eligible to vote. So when they feel this, I was also on the Twitter and talking about calling overseas Americans vote Trump and vote for their pocketbook.
So we've got millions living abroad. Most are not rich. Many are retired, and they've been forced to pay higher taxes than others living stateside. So talk about how this is going to benefit them, because it's not just about the taxes they pay. These foreign companies don't like to hire Americans because it costs them too much, right?
That's correct. They don't